So I promise you're not getting a full lecture, but I'll start by saying this. James Baldwin talks about how Black people, little Black girls, boys, they realize around the age of 6 that while they were rooting for the Cowboys, you thought you were the Cowboys and the Cowboys and Indians. You're actually the Indian story. And when I first heard that watching I Am Not Your Negro, it really struck me because I remembered this point in my life where I realized I was Black. So my family is Nigerian. It's the easiest Nigerian name you'll ever hear. Our tribe has very short names, but my family is Nigerian. And I grew up in Northern Virginia, in the suburbs, but in a pretty diverse area of Springfield, Virginia. If anyone is familiar with Springfield, that's me. I went to Robert E. Lee High School, which is whew, that's part of the story. We'll get to that. So me, as a little Nigerian American girl, a first generation American, I don't know what being Black is. We're eating fufu, we're eating egusi soup, we're eating plantains at home. My food stank in the lunchroom, but it didn't really matter to me because that's what everyone ate. And every school has kind of those popular girls, right? And I thought I was somewhat popular, right? I look like this, I'm cute, I have a good time. I played sports. And in Mean Girls, it's the plastics. In my school, in my elementary school, it was the ladybugs. So at the blacktop in at our playground, there was this line of bushes, and they were so perfect for hiding in. If you had secrets to tell, you were gonna go to the bushes. And in those bushes were ladybugs on every branch, and it was beautiful, just red dots all over the place. That's where the ladybugs sat. And they would tell each other secrets, they would hold hands, they would do whatever little girls do. And one day, I walked right up to the bushes, as I usually would, to hang with my friends. And this woman, her name was Lindsay, or Stephanie, or girl, I should say, we were in elementary school. I truly don't remember her name because I blacked it out after this experience. But let's say her name was Lindsay. Sorry to the Lindsays out there. I walk up, going to sit down with my friends, and she puts her arm out. We have enough niggers. Now, I am in maybe the 4th grade, and I don't know what this word means. My family, again, is Nigerian. So I don't know what this means, and I'm looking around like, okay, what do I have in common with the other people? What could this word mean? I see my friend Zoma, she's Ethiopian, and she's Black, or she has the same skin tone as me, but there's one of her, and there's like 5 little white girls over here. So I'm doing the math, trying to figure out what this word could mean. What did I do to not be allowed in this club? And I just say, okay. And I walk away thinking, you know what, maybe she's right? She's the leader of this group. And if they have enough, maybe I'll try again tomorrow and I'll get there early, right? Because if I get there early, then maybe I'll be able to get in before the rest of those people that she's talking about. The next day, I try again. Ansa, I told you that we already are at capacity. Okay. So I go home to my mom and I said, I'm trying to get into this club. And I don't really know what I'm doing wrong, right? I'm on the soccer team. I'm feeling like I'm cool. I was a pretty developed kid, and I had what a rogue pediatrician described as large pendulous breasts. I don't know what pediatrician is writing this about children, but apparently it was important to my medical file. And so I was a developed girl. And so I thought maybe it's too much boobs. Maybe that's the problem. So I went to school the next day and I wore the tightest cami. If anyone remembers how camis were really popular in the late 90s. So I wore the tightest cami trying to squish my chest down. Again, I was denied entry. So I go home to my mom and I say, okay, I'm trying to get into this club again. It's not working. She told me that they have too much of this word and I don't know what this means. And my mom, totally unfazed, says, that's just a word that stupid people say. But that doesn't help me because I already know that Lindsay's stupid because she's not letting me into this club. So what is this word? So I go back the next day and Lindsay tries to deny me And I said, my mom said only stupid people say that word, so are you stupid? That got her. No, I'm not stupid. Okay, so if you're not stupid, you're gonna let me in this club because there's no other reason, because the reason you're not letting me in is because you're stupid. So if you're not, so I tried to play this girl like a fiddle, and she lets me into the club. So I'm in the club, we're playing with ladybugs, we're doing what little girls do, and I'm so proud of myself because I've somehow weaseled my way into a place where I was told that I'm not allowed to be. And it would follow me for the rest of my life. As a first generation American, I don't know how many of you know first generation African Americans, we exist, and it's a struggle to figure out where you belong. Am I Black? Am I American? Where do I belong? And that, coupled with this idea of this realization point in your life where you finally figure out who you are relative to other people, really struck me. That girl got kicked out of our high school. And I went on to college and enjoyed my life and became the person I am. Although I went to Robert E. Lee High School, I didn't know what collard greens were in college, despite being in the gospel choir, and everyone said, "You don't know what collard greens are? Why would I know what those are?" And it's because of the color of my skin that it was assumed that I would know what collard greens are, or what fatback is, which I found I loved. So all of this to say that if you were trying to get into a club like I was in elementary school and someone says they're at capacity for your kind, trick them. Tell them that the only people who put a sign up and say no of this kind are stupid people. And you're not stupid, are you? Thank you.